have two public comment cards on 13.3.
Okay.
So before we move on that, I'd like to hear the public comment.
Oh, absolutely.
First, Mona Silvera, followed by Deborah Mason.
Good evening, President Oaks, Dr. Mayor, and board members. I am a mother of an 11-year-old child going to Riverview Middle School, and this is our first year at the school, and we absolutely love our current principal, and we're very disappointed. We heard about this through a rumor. I come to you respectfully and humbly, but totally frustrated at the same time. As a parent, I give a lot of time and energy to the school, and to hear about this through a rumor from another parent and then ask someone at school, is this true? And they cannot answer me. So it was very frustrating. So I've heard, you know, this is my first time at this school, but I've heard this happen to our school last year too. We were not, well, this year we were not informed. So I heard last year there were signatures of parents, and we turned it over to the board. So in 2 days, we probably went out 4 days with 4 parents. We collected at least 200 signatures of people in the community, parents and people in the community who would like our principal, Mr. Tom Wajkowski, to stay. So I humbly, and this is the other parent.
I just want to say that my son has been at Riverview, and now my nephew's there, and I have a former 5th grader that will be entering 6th grade next year. And I just want to say Mr. K has done a lot of work with us. He's out there working with the community. He's painting the fence that there's gang tags on there. He goes out there. He goes out of his way to work with the community. So I'm just a little bothered that we weren't informed that Mr. K was going to be placed somewhere else and someone was going to take over. He works well, and at the end of the day, we have to remember it's about the kids. And he's worked great with the kids. He has a great relationship with us parents. His doors are always open to us. So I'm just a little bothered that he's getting removed from Riverview. I mean, we as parents would like an explanation of why this is happening, and it's nothing against anybody. We just want to know what's going on and why he's such a great man. Why is he being placed somewhere else?
And the other comment I would also like to make is we come from a low-income neighborhood, and I feel like, are we not given the respect that we could just have an announcement? I came from Delta View, who's in the same Mount Diablo family. Anytime a principal was changed or promoted, it was announced to the school. It was, you know, they let us know what was going on. If you want the support of parents and the community, it would be nice to know what's going on. So.
And we would like to keep Mr. K there.
Yes. And we have nothing against Mr. Jonathan Rosland. We don't know you, sir. And we hope, and I don't want to put a damper on anything going forward, but here's our public comment. Here are citizens. Here are citizens that truly care about their family.
Thank you. You can give it. Thank you. Okay, we have Deborah Mason followed by Willie Mims on this agenda item.
President Oaks, members of the board, Dr. Meyer, board members and audience. Very upset to hear about this the same way. I'm, as you probably know, pretty involved in my community. Went to DC, came back, I was there on a business trip and heard that they were pulling Mr. K. This is such a disservice to my community, it's hard to put into words. I've lived in that community all my life. Since 1980, there have been 4 principals at Riverview. Lucky for us, they've always been good choices, and it's worked well. It's rare that our kids get a really good example of a positive male role model, and that's what Mr. K has been. He has literally saved some kids from the streets with the relationships he had formed with them. He has a community focus. Of all the principals in Bay Point, he's the only principal that I've seen at every tree lighting ceremony, every Memorial Day parade. When there's any meeting in that community that has to do with his kids, whether it's about the library or street smarts or whatever it is, he's there. I don't see the other principals there. He is very caring. He understands that the school is a focus for the community. And I'm really pleading with you tonight to change your mind and not make this appointment and let Mr. K stay there. Kids in our community often suffer from separation anxiety because they're moved from one home to another home to another home, or they leave the community and then they come back to the community. To pull someone who they are having a positive relationship with is not going to solve any problems, whether it be with staff or kids. It's only going to exacerbate those problems and make them worse. I think any problems that are going on there now must be internally, because you hear nothing negative about him in the community, might be because the last principal was only there 2 years and then was pulled and asked to leave. Few people intuitively get Bay Point, and Mr. K does. It would just be such a disservice. And I look at you, Dr. Meyer, because I've really enjoyed listening to your words of wisdom as we move forward. And I sat here a couple months ago, or maybe only a month ago, I'm here a lot, it seems like, and listened to the board approve a policy of a reorganization. Now, personally, I probably wouldn't have just shifted people around and changed their title, but I respect that it's what you chose to do. But what you said when you looked at that is there was a disconnect you felt, the community felt, in the perception between the Dent Center and the schools. And what I heard you say is that you were going to put people in place to be more supportive to the administrators right out there in the school and helping the schools. And what I also thought I heard you say was in phase 1, that person would be there to support, advise, and evaluate the principal. You've just made that decision. You've just set that policy. Let us be the pilot to see if it works. Leave Mr. K there. Let that person work with him, advise, evaluate, and mentor him, and work with the community, as you also said. This person should be the point of contact to support the principal and the community to resolve conflicts. That's exactly what we think needs to happen now. Thank you for your time.